Well, after getting mostly spared by Tropical Storm Marco, the Gulf Coast is now bracing for Laura. Evacuation orders are in effect across parts of Texas and Louisiana as officials prepare for Hurricane Laura. CBS News meteorologist and climate specialist Jeff Berardelli is with us now with what we can expect. So, Jeff, I think, was Laura just recently upgraded to a hurricane? Because she had been a tropical storm, right?
Yeah, and we're not surprised about that. We figured it would happen sometime today. And now that the storm has passed Cuba and moved into the very warm Gulf of Mexico waters right there to the north of Cozumel, you can see that there's been a big explosion of purples right near the center. We'll kind of zoom in a little bit so you can see that. And that means it's getting better organized. It's building its core. And, you know, it's going to be off to the races after this because there's nothing but water out ahead of it. And boy, is it very hot water as well. This is likely to probably rapidly intensify this system over the next 24 to 48 hours before it makes landfall. Because we're expecting landfall in Louisiana, west towards the North Texas coast, there's a hurricane watch that's in effect. Elsewhere in the orange shading, that's a tropical storm watch. Storm surge problems are also going to be a concern as the system kind of moves in that direction. And, you know, the trend over the past, 24 hours has been to increase this storm's intensity. Not a surprise to any of us meteorologists because we know what happens when storms move over the middle of the Gulf of Mexico and there's no wind shear or dry air around, which is the case right now. So during the day tomorrow, it's forecast to become a Cat 2, and then before landfall, somewhere around maybe Beaumont, Port Arthur, maybe as far west as, let's say, Galveston or even Bay City, but really somewhere in that zone right there, it's expected to become a Cat 3 hurricane, and it could have winds, as high as 115 plus miles an hour. You can see it right there. But I got to tell you, some of our computer models are even stronger than that, showing the possibility of a high-end Category 3 hurricane. It's not out of the question. After that, the system moves at a fairly brisk pace up through the Mississippi Valley. Water temperatures are above normal in the Gulf of Mexico, but I do want to show you one thing. So anywhere you see in the yellow, that is above normal. However, these are the actual water temperatures. The eastern Gulf, 86 to 88 degrees. The western Gulf, 88 to 90 degrees. So once the system gets right about here, that's it. It really is going to start to strengthen. So folks in the Houston, Galveston area and northeastward towards Beaumont, Port Arthur need to prepare for what is going to be a major hurricane. This right here is the rapid precision model. It's just one model out of a lot of models, but it's been fairly consistent. You can see how it really spins up a very concentric circle, which means it's a very strong hurricane, and then makes landfall somewhere near Galveston. Now, keep in mind, the track from the National Hurricane Center is closer to Port Arthur or Beaumont. However, a lot of the models, including the reliable European, further west towards Galveston. So we have to worry about a landfall in and around a very major metro city within less than 48 hours from now. And of course, evacuations are ongoing there.
Jeff, how much impact is Laura having in the Caribbean? What sort of damage has it caused there?
Yeah, it caused a lot of flooding damage. Anytime, and it doesn't have to be a hurricane, Vlad, anytime there are tropical storms that move through Haiti, the Dominican Republic, into Cuba, it causes devastating flooding. And I've seen pictures of what we would have expected, which was devastating flooding. Even though it was a weak tropical storm, it had a ton of convection. In fact, one of the hurricane hunters who went in there said they've never seen that much lightning as it was moving over the Dominican Republic and Haiti, which goes to show you that even weaker tropical systems can cause devastating flooding, and that is what has happened there.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. Appreciate it as always.
You're welcome.